stuffing boilu. See where it is? It's about a little above 50% of the page. Riboilu. If a person duchens, is that sufficient proof that he's a kosher Kohen? To yuchus. Okay? That's the shaila. He says, he says, if this question is a question, even according to the opinion that if a person needs truma, that's sufficient proof to be malim, to elevate him. He says, person needs truma, which has very serious liability. So definitely, that's the reason why we elevate him. However, nesis kapayim, which is only an isser asay, if you're not a kohen yeduchen, in violation of mitzvah say, maybe not. It's not enough proof. Avol nisis kaim d'isur say lo odilmano lo shnot makes no difference. They're both isur d'oraisa, and if we see duchens, that's sufficient reason to assume that he's a kosher kohen. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow him to duchen, or a person wouldn't do something which is wrong. But it's also a question according to Mandio Eimalin. Why? There's a consideration that maybe the sis kapaim is better than truma. Truma we will not, but the sis kapaim yes. Why? Hanimilu truma the mesachli b'tzina. True person needs truma. It's not done publicly. So a person, he could be arrogant enough, do the wrong thing, although he has a much more. He could somehow rationalize his mind. Sis kapaim the b'vehesyo. You duchen in public, right? Robin knows this. Chevret Pinto, he has to do in front of 10 people. Ilav the Kohen who lo machze finish nafshe, a person wouldn't have that level of chutzpah, right? So therefore, even though for truma not, although it has a greater liability, but since it's done, you eat in private. So therefore that, but this is more. Odilmalo, well, maybe we don't differentiate. Rav Chizr Rav Avina, it's machlokes Rav Chizr Rav Avina. Charon and Malin, one says yes, person duchens, that's enough credibility to elevate him. Can says to Rava, Can you? Rava says, looked at Rav Chizr Rav Avina, we just said, that's the machlokas. He says, yes, but I wonder, but how do we rule? Do we rule yes, do we rule not? Hilsamai, what's that locham? He says, I know I have a brisa. From the brisa, it's indicated how we rule. What's that what? The Tanya. Rabbi Yossi Omer Gedol Chazoka. Rabbi Yossi says we see from this posuk that presumptive status has great value. What is it? Shenemar. It says when they returned with the Jews from Babel to Eretz Yisrael, it says Ubenei Kohanim, the families, the children of Kohanim, which came from the families of Bnei Chavayo, Bnei Yakotz, Bnei Barzilai, Shalokach Bnos Barzilai Hagilodi Isha, Vikral Shvam Elu Bikshu Ksovam. They tried to find their pedigree documents. They couldn't locate them to prove that they were Kohanim. And therefore they were disqualified from Kuna. They wouldn't let them, when the base of Mikdash was rebuilt, they wouldn't allow them to officiate. Although they were Kohanim in Bavel, we'll see in a moment, they Truma, they Duchind, they did not allow them to what? This is Nehemiah said to them, they're not permitted from kodesh. They can't eat korbanos. Ad amod kohen lurim v'tumim. Until we have lurim v'tumim, since by shame there was no lurim v'tumim to verify who they are. Therefore, they're out. We don't allow them. But he said to them, but whatever you did in Bavel, you retain that status. You retain your chazokah. What did you eat in Gola in Bavel? Kodesh Agvul mitruma. Afkan, now we're back in there. So, things that are outside of Yerushalayim, you can eat also. Being outside of Beis HaMikdash. If you say that if you're duchen, we elevate him to Yuchsin, Hani came to Parsi Yodayu in Bavel, they duchen in Bavel, these people. Osilaskinu, let's be concerned, they're going to elevate them, right? So evidently we see that what? We're not concerned they're going to be elevated. Even though they duchen in Bavel, right? We allow them to continue duchening. But if duchen, we elevate to the next level, we shouldn't allow them to duchen. And that's more says no shiny hocha, because it's clear here that their pedigree is questionable. Why? Because here we're not allowing to officiate. So we're not allowed to officiate. That automatically tells it, that casts doubt on what the status is, right? Di lo temahochi, because if you're not going to say that, according to the opinion that you elevate him, if he truma to yuchsin, if you allow him to continue eating truma as he ate in Bavel, so you're going to elevate him to yuchsin. So how did Nehemiah say that you continue eating truma? The answer is, since we don't let you do the avodah beis hamikdash, that clearly says it's not simple who you are. So since once they realize it's not simple who he is, they're not going to, even though you're eating truma, they're not going to elevate you to yuchsin. Elav mishum derei cheskayu. The answer is because the chazaka is actually is blemished. So elamai gedol chazaka. So what does it mean, gedol chazaka? Meikoro achol b'truma. So what's the great chiddush? What's the chiddush? What's his name says? Bio says even gedol chazaka. What's the great chiddush? They truma in Bavel, they truma here. So what's the chiddush? Of course, the answer is elamai gedol chazaka meikoro achol truma. Drabona hashta ochel truma d'oraisa. See, in Bavel, any produce grows outside Eretz Yisrael. What's the halacha? Is it tevel? It's not tevel. It's ordinary, but because Bavel is very close there, so rabbinically they said you should tithe it. So when the truma they ate in Bavel, what kind of truma did they eat? They truma drabanan. Right. Nevertheless, because they truma, we allow them to continue eating truma, even though it's truma d'oraisa. Even though it's truma d'oraisa. Yeah? Hashta ochel truma d'oraisa. That's one shot. So that's gedol lechazok. Ibo seimo. Hashnami b'truma d'rabbanan ochol. You hear this? In there, so we would not allow them to eat truma d'oraisa, only truma d'rabbanan. So what's the chiddush? The chiddush is because if there's a concern, if you allow them to eat truma d'rabbanan, ultimately it's inevitable they need truma d'oraisa. So maybe we should stop them from eating truma d'rabbanan. On that we don't do it. Whatever they did in Bavel, we allow them to continue. Hashta nami b'truma d'rabbanan ochol, truma d'rabbanan lo ochol. V'chimas kin b'truma yiduyoch. Stop. Hashta ochol b'truma d'oraisa. Hashta nami b'truma d'rabbanan ochol, b'truma d'oraisa lo ochol. That's gedol chazak. We limit him to that. 1 second. Ibo same ashtam b'truma d'rabbanan truma peirus elon v'yerach means ordinary fruits from trees. And what? Because what's truma d'oraisa? Grain, wine, and olives. Let's say you have a peach tree or orange, or whatever. That's all drabanan. Okay. Someone asks, when do we elevate a person from truma to yuchsin according to that opinion? If you truma d'oraisa, but if you need truma drabanan, that's not sufficient. That's not sufficient proof that you're kohen. So what's gedol chazok? Avagav diikol lemigzar mishum truma d'oraisa. But you say we're playing with fire. If you let them eat truma drabanan, it's going to be inevitable. He's going to end up eating truma d'oraisa. The answer is lo gazrinon. We don't make such a gzeira. We allow him to continue eating truma drabanan, and we're not concerned that if he's truma drabanan, it's inevitable he's going to come to eat truma d'oraisa. We're not concerned about that. So Mara says, "Well, but truma d'oraisa lo achol." How could you tell me you don't eat truma d'oraisa? Because according to this, we're saying truma d'oraisa would not let them eat. V'oksiv, it says in the pasuk, "Asher lo yochlu mikodesh hakadoshim." It says, what did Nehemiah say? They can't eat from the korbanos. But it seems anything less than the korbanos, we allow them to eat even truma d'oraisa. Even truma d'oraisa. Mikodesh hakadoshim would lo achol truma d'oraisa achol hochi kamar. So more answers, no, that's not what Nehemiah said. When it says kodesh kadoshim, doesn't mean the korban. It means hochi kamar lo midi dikri kodesh. Anything which is called kodesh, they cannot eat. And we'll see truma is also called kodesh. Dichsiv v'chozor lo yochal kodesh. What's that pasuk speaking about? That's truma. Chozor lo yochal truma kodesh. That's truma. Lo b'midi dikri kochim. Dichsiv obaskon kisil lizor. If a woman marries lizor and then she comes back, he b'truma kadoshim lo sochal. She cannot eat the chos v'shok, even though if she has no children, she returns. She eats truma, but chos v'shok she doesn't eat, right? V'mamar b'murim and hakadoshim lo sochal. So that's what we're saying. Truma d'oraisa he does not eat. Gedol lechazoka means only truma drabanan. So what's the chiddush? That you may think we should make a gzeira of truma drabanan for truma d'oraisa. The answer is we don't make such a gzeira. Okay, Toshma. So we asked the question: are you malim nesis kapayim to yuchsin? That was the question he posed, right? Chazoka lukuna. It says, what is a chazok kun and nesis kapayim bebavel? That if a person duchen in bavel, that's a what? That's a chazok lukuna. That proves he's a kohen. V'achilas challah b'Surya. And if you eat challah in Surya, if you're duchen in Bavel and you eat challah, that's when you tie the bread, you eat there. V'chiluk matonos b'krochim. And receiving the gifts of the Kohen, like the Zroel Chaim V'Akeva in the large cities, Ktani Mias. But what does it say here? Nisis Kapayim. It says Nisis Kapayim is what? Is a Chazokah Fakuna. So what does it mean Fakuna? My love Liyuchsin, that we establish him his pedigree. Or so, L'Truma. L'Truma, Vodumir Achiluk Ktoni. Ma Achiluk Chalo Yuchsin, but it seems to be, just as a person eats Chalo, that elevates him to Yuchsin. Says Kapit Luchsin lo, Achilas Chalo Gufa L'Truma. Filuch Achilas lo, Chilas Chalo Gufa L'Truma. Ksovar Chalo Bismana Zed Drabonan. Yeah, there's Chalo today is only Drabonan. The one discusses. The obligation to take Chalo, tied bread, Utruma Doraisa. Umaskina and Mechalud Drabonan, Truma Doraisa. Although the Chazokah was only Truma Drabonan, we elevate because Chalas Truma to Truma Doraisa. K'da'apich lei Rapuna Breid Rav Yeshua Rabbanan Toshma Chazokah Lekuna Chazokuna V'chiluk Ronus. What's a Chazokah V'kuna? If a person duchens or he goes to the granaries, Eretz Yisrael, they give him his share. Ubesurya Ubechol Mokom. And in Surya, and any location, Shluchei Rosh Chodesh Magian. See, stop. 1 second. Meaning when they send out the agents to say Rosh, that was 15 days travel. So why? Because that's where you had a bezdin. When agents would come, you'd have a bezdin. Wherever you had a bezdin, they would evaluate and they would do the verification whether the person was a kosher Kohen or not. So if a person duchen in that location, that means everyone had a bezdin. So that bezdin, they wouldn't allow him to duchen unless he was checked out. Right? That's the rationale. Chazokah L'Kuna, this is Kavayim Chiluk Ronos Beretz Yisrael, because Eretz Yisrael had a bezdin. Ubesurya, Ubechol Mokom Shluchei Rosh Chodesh Magim. Nisis Kapayim Rayo, but it seems to be here. Duchening is a proof. Avo Lo Chiluk Ronos. Right? Excuse me. The Skis Kapayim Rayo. Lo chiluk Ronos beBavel. Lo tzis Ronos ubeBavel uBavel Kesurya. 1 second. Chazah chomok shishluch be'Rosh Chodesh Magin. The tzis Kapayim. רגע. Lefiv shebezn kavua sham shebekabel shlichus hachodesh shel bezn God. Right. Magin l'sham tzis Kapayim Raya. That's what he's saying. Where the agents come, they're in the Sis Kapayim Raya. Why? Because since there's a Bezdin, the Bezdin will verify it. Avo lo chilogronos, but not chilogronos. Ubechol Surya, ubavel Surya. Bavel's like Surya. Why? Because there was a Bezdin. Bavel, they had a Bezdin. Rav Shimon Liloma Af Alexandria Shal Mitzrayim Berishoino. Originally, when before it was destroyed, Alexandria was a major. They had millions of Jews living there. They had a Bezdin. So a person would duchen there and do things, he was a kosher Kohen, because they had a bezdin. Why? They should bezdin kvuin sham, because they had a set bezdin. Ktonim mi, as Boris said, the sis kapayim, my lab, lo yuchsin, lo lechalo. That's, but not lo, right? My lab, lo yuchsin, lo lechalo. That if you duchen, we let him have chalo. Hodumi rechila granos, but we're comparing it to chila granos, to receiving the tithes in the granaries. Just as Chil Gronis, we said earlier, you elevate him up. Today, Truma in Eretz Yisrael is also Drabonon. Kashkina Rafuna Breid Rav Yeshua, as Rafuna Breid Yeshua came upon the Rabbonon, Dom Rafuna Breid Yeshua, Ashkechina Rabbonon Beirav. Rafuna, the son of Rabbi Yeshua, said he came upon the Chachom in the basement of Rav, the Yasvu Kamri, and they were sitting and they were saying, Afilaman diyom truma bizmana zed rabbanon. Even if you hold, why? What's this? Why is truma bizmana zed rabbanon? Because a kedusha shniya is kitchur l'shaz v'lo kitchur l'shalava. Once the bias was nechrav, the kedusha is lost. But chala is not dependent upon conquering the land. Meaning, if it's based on the conquest, so once we're driven out of the land, it's lost. But challah, it's based on Jews just being there, because the obligation of challah came at the moment we entered into the land, before we conquered the land, as he says. the 7 years of conquest, of dividing the land. This chayv b'chala already were chayv to take chala on a doraisa level. Below this chayv b'truma, but what truma we weren't obligated because there wasn't kedushas oretz yet. So what do we see? That truma is totally dependent on kedusha of the oretz, and chala is dependent on what? Just entering into the land. That's what they were saying. That's what this Rav Huna B'Rei B'Shua says. I came upon. That's what they were saying. That truma is drabonon, and chala is doraisa. And I said to them, Adraba, just to the contrary. That even if you'll kitchel shniyos, try to kitchel also level, that even after the churban, the land retains its kedusha. And truma is doraisa, chala drabonon, chala is still drabonon. The Tanya, what does it says? It says bevoachem el oretz, when you come to the land. If that's the case, Moshe sent spies to spy out the land. So the moment they came, you should have been obligated to take chala already. No, when you all come, all the Jews have to come. When you all come now, when a few of them come. How many Jews came back from Bavel? 40,000. The vast majority stayed in Bavel. And when Ezra brought up the Jews, Lav Kulu Soluk. He didn't bring all of them with him, only 40,000 came with him. If that's the case, even if you're of the opinion that what? That Truma is Manazis Doraiso, Chal is Drabonon. Toshma. Chazoko Likuna. What's a Chazoko Likuna? Nisias Kapayim. Chilagronos. Ve'edus. No, stop. No. Ve'edus. And testimony. Was it Edus Chazoki? I mean, if witnesses testify that a man's a Kohen, that's a Chazoka. Chazoka means something that was in place. We say we continue to leave it in place. Edus is not Chazoka, right? It's Chazoka, Lukuna. What is a Chazokuna? Nisius, Kapayim. That establishes a Kohen, Chil Geronis, and testimony. Testimony is a Chazoka. That's fact. So says, Edus Chazoki, Ella Lavoch Yomer. Nisius Kapayim Ki Edus. If a person duchens, that's equivalent like witnesses who testified he's a Kohen. Otherwise, he wouldn't duchen. Just as if you have testimony, if witnesses testify, a person's a kosher Kohen. Don't you elevate him to yuchsin, right? Lo edus habo b'koy chazoka kechazoka. That fact which emanates from chazoka, we treat it like chazoka. What's the story? Listen to the story. Yehuda also coming to Rabami. A person comes before Rabami. Omalei muzakani bozeh shu Kohen. A person they always treat him like a Kohen, right? A person's in sitting. Nobody ever remember him not being treated like a Kohen. So is it fact that he's a Kohen? It's chazoka. We treated him like a Kohen. Omalei maroyis. So Rav Abi said to him, in what way was he established as a Kohen? What did you say? Amalei Shekor Rishon Beis HaKnesses. Yeah, they gave him the Aliyah. They gave him the first Aliyah, right? B'cheskeshu Kohen, or b'cheskeshu Godel. He says no. How do you know? Maybe he was because the person is a Godel Ador. That also he gave him the first Aliyah. He even has prayer over Kohen. No, Shu Godel. Yeah. B'cheskeshu Kohen, b'cheskeshu Godel, Shekor Achrav Levi. Because they called him a Levi afterwards, that proves that he was a Kohen. That's why he got, because you don't call a Levi after Yisrael. Ve'aleu, Rabami Lukuna Alpib, so Rabami says, that's sufficient proof that he's a Kohen. That's the Chazoka. Hahudi Osel Kami to Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Omalei Bozgani Bozeshu Levi. He says, it's clear that this person is a Levi. Omalei Maroi. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, what did you see? That indicates he's a Kohen. Excuse me. He said, it's clear to me he's a Levi. First one was the story was he was a Kohen. And how do you know he was a Levi? He says, he got the second Aliyah. B'cheshu Levi. So he says, no. B'cheshu Godel. He says, no, maybe he got the second Aliyah because he was a Godel. Right? That's why they gave him the second Aliyah. Because he's a Talmud Chochem. He says, no, Shekor l'fon of Kohen. Because the one who received the Aliyah before him was definitely a Kohen. So if the first one's a Kohen, that means you always call Levi after a Kohen. So why did they give him the second Aliyah? Because he was a Levi. That was sufficient proof from Shimon Levi, and he elevated him to be a Levi. Who does the commentary Shlokish? He said, to me it's clear he's a Kohen. Omalei my rule. Yisur Rishlok says, what did you see that indicates he's a Kohen? Omalei shukor rish mesa knesses. Yeah, he says, firstly I saw that he got the first lay. Secondly, Omalei reisiv. Stop. He got the first lay. Omalei, so Rishlok says to the reisiv shechilik alagronos. He says, did you see him go to the granaries? Did they give him truma? Meaning, for he wasn't satisfied just they got the first aliyah. Did you see him go to the granary and get his portion? Amalei reisiv shechilik alagronos. Amalo Reb Lozer v'mein shom gorin. So Amalo Reb Lozer says to Reish Lakish v'mein shom gorin guat lakuna. So he says, and if you don't have the proof of the granary, you don't have granaries in your community. That means to say you don't have no kohanim. You mean the aliyah is not a sufficient proof? That's what he says to him. Zimnin have a yasvi kamid Rabbi Yochanan also. Sometimes he would be before Rabbi Yochanan. Reish Lakish was a student of Rabbi Yochanan. And the same story comes. Person says he's a Kohen. How do you know? Omer Reish Lakish reisiv shechilek alagorin. So Reish Lakish says to his Rebbe, to Rabbi Yochanan, I saw he was in the granary and they gave him his portion. So that clearly tells you he's a Kohen. Otherwise, why did they give him truma? Omer le Rabbi Yochanan v'meinshim gorin bot lakuna. He says, he means say that's the only proof. Nothing less than that. Omer le, excuse me. Hoda chazil Rabbi Lozer bishus. So he saw when Rabbi Yochanan said that to Reish Lakish, Rabbi Lozer became embarrassed. He turned red because what he said already. He said that to Reish Lakish, and he didn't quote his Rebbe. He didn't quote Rabbi Yochanan. Oma shemata mili debar nafcho v'lo ametul mishmei. So Reish Lakish says to Rabbi Lozer, you heard something in the name of Rabbi Yochanan who was referred to as bar nafcho because it says because he was a blacksmith. And you don't say it in the name of the person. How do you say it in your own name? Rashi says, what's bar nafcho? Here's the part of the stock Rabbi Lozer. Ba'ayin ra, shehivim shmi Rabbi Yochanan, shoma lo shezek, shoma lo shezel, lo amru b'shem Rabbi Yochanan, filo kiblam. Yeah. Rabbi Chia chad helo ben alpiovi l'kuna. One of them, because the father said, this is my son. The father was a Kohen. He said, this is my son. That was sufficient proof that he's a legitimate Kohen. Chad helo achal pi ochiv. Another one, a brother said that's his brother, Lilavia. Yeah, one of them elevated a son based on his father to Kuna. The other one, a brother, a Levi. The Stayim, the Rebbe, helo ben al pi oviv. Rebbe was the one who elevated the son based on the testimony of the father. Person comes, we don't know who the guy is. A man, two people come, a man and a younger person says, this is my son, the Kohen. That's what he says. We don't know if he's the father, we know if he's the son, but he says, this is my son, the Kohen. First he says, this is my son. The Kohen, two things. First he identifies my son, and he's a Kohen. Nemon lachilu b'truma. He's believed to give that he should receive truma, but he's not believed to marry a wife. Why? So Rashi said, well, maybe he's a mamzer, maybe he's a nosin, but he's not a legitimate Jew. That's what Rebbe says. I mean, if you let him eat truma, you're going to be suspect he's a mamzer. And if you feel the father's not trustworthy sufficiently to marry a woman, because that's something he can do himself. So what do we see? So we see clearly the story of Rebbe is that he said his son was a Kohen, because the whole discussion was to feed him truma, right? So you see clearly Rebbe was the one to elevate him to eating truma, and not Reb Chia was the other one. Rebbe held ben al pioviv lakuna. Reb Chia was the other. So held as ach al piochiv lilavia. The Reb Chia maishna ben lo. So why do we differentiate? Why? So evidently Reb Chia say a brother for a brother, yes, a father for a son, not. I mean, but either way they're both related. Like a father's related to a son, a brother's related to a brother. Right. So that's the first question. Reb Chia maishna ben lo karfu. It's loviv. If you're telling me the reason why I don't believe a father because the father's related to a son, so how do you believe a brother for a brother? Brother's related to a brother. Rabbi Chia says only a brother for Levi, but not a father for a son for Cohen.
Right.
Why not? Why? The answer is because he's related, and two brothers are not related. Right? So Mar says Mesich Levitumo. Meaning, what happened was, it's not he came and he gave an official testimony, but Mesich Levitumo in passing was telling a story, and within the story, the information was communicated. We will stop here.
Really, so is it